Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, it's G, it's DMC, the undefeated, undisputed Pokemon Showdown champion. That's right, it's the man, Mark Daniels, and we're here with another edition of Everybody's Family Sunday Night Tradition. That is right, it is Showdown Sunday, and guys, I got a great team for you today. So, I played Pokemon Snap on Thursday, Throwback Thursday. If you haven't checked that out, check it out for sure. And there was a part in the episode where I encountered a Vileplume, which I couldn't get to come up because I think the game, I was emulating it, it had some glitches going on, but that's alright. But for some reason, it made me want to make a team with Vileplume. So I looked up Vileplume on Spogon, and I realized it's an NU Pokemon, never used. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's make a team with Vileplume. Plus, I already had a great NU team in it as it was, so you're going to see a couple of those Pokemon here, as well as a couple of other Pokemon that I've used in the past. So let's start things off. We got Vileplume. As you can see from this team, regardless, kind of start things off here. I got the Fire, Water, Grass core. Right, it's a great core. I got a lot of resistances on this team, which is great. I mean, resistance to Ghost Pokemon, resistance to Ground Pokemon, resistance to Electric Pokemon. I got resistance to all kinds of great Pokemon here. But besides that, though, Vileplume is going to be put in the work. It's got Giga Drain, Moonlight, Sludge Bomb, Sleep Powder. It can stall Pokemon out pretty easily with the Sleep Powder, force switches, or just I can slowly chip at Pokemon or just knock them out, depending on the Pokemon. Black Sludge, it's a better version of Leftovers, if you will, for Poison-type Pokemon. Since it is a Grass Poison type, I can take advantage of that. I also get stabbed with Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain, which is great. I can heal off the Giga Drain, as well as Moonlight if I'm starting to get just a little low. Then we have Lantern. He's an offensive tank for me. See, he's got Assault Vest here. Voltozorb, because again, he's going to be taking those electric attacks, free 99 for us here. Scald, Volt Switch, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. Just offensive. Obviously, with Assault Vest, you have to use offensive moves. Otherwise, you can't use Assault Vest. But great Pokemon. Going to do a lot of damage for us and some good type coverage for us. Again, resist electric Pokemon for free. Not to mention, I can switch in freely to Ice moves, which I got a couple weaknesses too, right? You can also switch in for Water Pokemon, which so can Vileplume, which is nice. So one thing that Lantern's very weak against, obviously, is ground type moves, which I can switch in freely into Swellow or into Vileplume pretty easily for ground type Pokemon. So we got our return, one of my favorites, Steelix. One great physical tank. I'm a huge fan of Steelix. You guys, if you've seen my other NU team, which if you haven't, go check it out. It's there for free for you guys if you want to check it out. But he's a great tank. I love having him on my team. But I built him a little offensively as well, make him adamant nature. I got Heavy Slam and Earthquake. Great damage, great stat moves. You got Rambo in the background, Dog Barking in the background. Stealth Rocks, of course. Set up those Stealth Rocks, set up a hazard. It's going to be hurting their Pokemon slowly. So 9 times out of 10, he will be my starting Pokemon. I can either put some damage down, throw on a Toxic as well to kind of lower the Pokemon's HP slowly but surely, force a switch perhaps, but also can just simply hit Stealth Rocks. And since I do have Sturdy, there's a 99% chance of survival now. I could maybe get hit by a Skull that does 99% damage, right? And then burns me and then I die. Or if they're using a Marowak, which I'm a huge fan of Marowak, they can use Boomerang, which I don't even think he's in this format, but he might be. I didn't really look. I'm just a Pokemon like that, though. There's some exceptions to that rule, but I can live just about any attack. So, Swellow, he's a Guts. I need an offensive powerhouse, right? I got special attack, offensive, but he's a tank. So I need someone with some offensive. I was gonna say badassery. Screw it. I'm gonna say badassery. He's a badass Pokemon, and let me tell you, with Toxic Orb, I can take advantage of the Guts ability, which is gonna power up my attack, but also Facade, which is a normal type move, and since I'm a normal flying, I get stabbed from that. And it increases damage when I have a special condition. Well, with the Toxic Orb, I will be poisoned, so I'll be doing extra damage. Brave Bird, best stab flying move. I will take a little bit of damage from it, but that's alright. We got U-Turn. In some cases, like against a Malamar, it does a ton of damage. In other cases, it's just basically going to be a free switch out, maybe do a check. That's what U-Turn's going to be for, but it can knock Pokemon out, and it has for me in the past. Defog, just an extra hazard, because you'll see in the next Pokemon we have another hazard removal, but sometimes I can switch it. I know they're going to switch out. I can just get a free defog off, right? So sometimes that's what I'm going to do. So then our next Pokemon, Torque, which I'm also very familiar with. He was a Pokemon on some of my other teams, especially my Mono Fire team. Great defensive stats, but this one I'm going a little different route. Usually I go defensive with him. I already got a nice bulky physical tank, so I went offensive with him. So he's going to be part of that fire core. And the reason why I picked Torkoal is I really needed a rapid spinner, and I couldn't really find a rapid spinner that fit my team that didn't really help my team comp up, right? I could get another ground type Pokemon, but I don't really want 2 ground types. I really don't. I want some variety here. So I went Torkoal as a fire Pokemon. I was going Flareon at first, but then I realized that I just didn't have enough hazard removal when I was doing a test run of this team. So I said, you know what? Screw it, we'll go Torkoal, and screw it, we'll go offensive. So we'll see how it works out here. Earth Power, Fire Blast, Rapid Spin, of course, and Shell Smash, so I can potentially, if I switch into a great switch for myself, and I predict that my opponent's is going to switch out, or is he going to do a whole lot of damage, I can simply Shell Smash. It's going to power up my attacks and my speed quite tremendously. So then we got Regice here. Clear body, won't be affected by any type of status changing, like anything like Intimidate, or if they do anything like that. Dog is just barking like crazy. I apologize ahead of time here, guys. But anyways, Regice, high special defense in this format. I needed a special defensive take, and I love Regice. If you guys seen my previous, I believe my PU team, Regice is one heck of a Pokemon. So even though I build super defensive here, I can also put all my EVs, as you can see here, in special attack, and I'm perfectly fine. Trust me, he takes attacks like a champ. That's what he does best. Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Thunder Wave. I can slow Pokemon down. I can simply take out other Ice Pokemon and mirror match type battles here. Dark Pokemon, normal Pokemon. Type coverage is unreal in Regice. So that's my team, guys. Again, the usual thing for me is we're going to do at least 3 battles, maybe 5 if we have some really fast battles. All right, guys, we got our first battle here. All right, so they got a very interesting team here. I'm trying to think, who would they start off with? Probably Regirock. Set up some rocks. Could start off with Xatu. Could start off with Miss Magius as well. Let's see, with Regirock, I could switch. I could start off with Vileplume. I'm gonna start with Vileplume. So here comes Hariyama, which I'm actually fine against Hariyama in this matchup. Could be Assault Vest variants. Could be lefties. Could go for a knockoff, which would suck. I'm gonna go Sleep Powder. Goes for the Fake Out actually. So he's gonna go knockoff, I would imagine. Toxic Orb. So he's guts. He's a guts variant. So my Sleep Powder is not gonna be effective here. So I could go for Sludge Bomb, do about 17 to 20%, but I don't think that's something I really want to do. I'm trying to think, who should I switch into? I really don't want to switch into anybody, is the problem. That's the problem. I really don't want to switch into anybody. I do think he's going to go for a knockoff. He switches actually to Xatu. So I go for the Sludge Bomb here. And Xatu is something I really don't want to mess with here. He could be offensive, could be Calm Mind variants, could be a pivot. I think I have to switch here. I do think he's probably going to go for a Psy Shock or a Heat Wave. I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch in a Lantern. Goes for the Nightshade actually, which is interesting. I didn't expect that really. He could switch in Electivire, predicting the electric moves here. I'm going to go Ice Beam. Goes for the U-turn. Probably going to switch in Electivire, expecting a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch. Goes into Hariyama actually. Interesting choice. So I got to think here. So Lantern, Hariyama. So it's not an Assault Vest user. Could go for Close Combat. I am quicker than him, but I'm not going to be able to knock him out. With Close Combat, I could switch into Vileplume. Or I could possibly switch into Swellow. I still don't want to take a Close Combat with Swellow. He's too much of a glass cannon. I'm going to switch into Vileplume. Goes for the Close Combat as predicted. He's going to lose some stats there, so he's probably going to switch out actually. Back into Xatu maybe. I'm going to go for Giga Drain. Hoping he stays in. He does stays in. I'm going to get the heal off the Giga Drain. Goes for the knockoff. Going to get rid of my Black Sludge, which is perfectly fine. We're going to trade this. So Black Sludge for a knockout on Hariyama. I will take that just fine. So he's probably going to bring back out the Exatu. And he's probably going to go for Roost while I switch out. I actually switched as an Electivire. Didn't really quite expect that, to be completely honest. Maybe has Ice Punch. Let's see. Yeah, he's probably going to go for Ice Punch here. I can probably survive one Ice Punch, but I don't think it's really worth it. I can switch in a Regice predicting that. He may go for an Earthquake or a Wild Charge. I could switch in a Steelix, which might be my better play. Let's see, if he goes for Earthquake, it's going to suck. But I'm going to switch to Steelix anyway. So he goes for the Flamethrower, which does even more damage. Let's see. So he's actually a special attack variant, which I did not quite expect. You actually don't really see those around. So we'll play it on his part for bringing in some of a bit of a shock factor here. So Flamethrower will knock us out. I could probably switch in a Torkoal or Lantern. Do I want to lose either of these guys right now? Torkoal I can risk. Okay, so Poliwrath. Alright. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Chances are he's probably a special attacker as well, but he could be offensive, I suppose. He could predict the Regice switch and go for a fighting move, which means they could probably safely switch into Vileplume, unless he's going to predict that and go for an ice move. I'm going to go for it. I don't have much of a choice here. So he goes for the Waterfall. I'm going to go for Giga Drain. He's probably just going to knock us out with an Ice Beam, to be honest here. I'm not going to be faster than him. He's actually going to switch back out to Xatu. I got a crit, which is going to be nice to get a little extra health there, but I'm in a pretty difficult position here. I'm switching into Regice. Goes for Nightshade. Now, what is he switching to here? That's my question. I could go for Thunder Wave, but he could bring out Electivire, so I really can't do that until Electivire's gone. I can't go for Thunderbolt, so I think Ice Beam is really my only move here. So I'm going to go for Ice Beam. He switched out into Regirock. Let's see here. Chances are he's going to be a bit of a tank as well. I could go for Focus Blast to about 50%. He's probably going to go for Stone Edge or Drain Punch. No, I think he's going to switch. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to stay in. I'm going to go for Thunder Wave. Goes for Rock Slide and misses, which is great for me. I get the Thunder Wave off, which is huge. I can maybe even switch into Vileplume and get a free heal off. I'm going to go for Focus Blast. Gets the Rock Slide. It's going to do some damage. Not a whole lot, though. If this Focus Blast hits, I knock him out. I could go for Ice Beam. I think Ice Beam will knock him out. How much did Ice Beam do to him last time? It did 26%. But it's probably a low roll. This is risky. I get it. Okay, so we're going to take out the Regirock with the Regice. But Regice is very low, which is kind of dangerous for us. I really need Regice. Here comes the Poliwrath again. It's probably going to knock us out. I'm going to go for Thunder Wave. Goes for the Earthquake, knocks us out. That's fine. I'm going to go into Vileplume. He's going to probably switch into Xatu again. So I'm just going to simply go for Moonlight, because I think he's going to switch. Switches into Xatu is predicted. I get almost 100% health back. If I had Black Sludge, it would be 100%. He's been going for Nightshade quite a bit, so I'm going to switch into Swellow, actually. Goes for Thunder Wave. God dang it. I'm going to go for Facade here. He could switch into Miss Magus. God dang it. Alright, so this is brutal. Alright. Swellow. Is it worth staying in here against this thing? So it looks like Facade's going to do about 76 to 90%, but he can simply just stall with the Roost. Switches into Miss Magus. Facade's not going to do anything. I'm going to go for U-turn. You go for Substitute. Are you kidding me? Let's get the fade off here. So, who's going to be the most effective? Probably Lantern, I would imagine. Miss Magus. Yeah, because Lantern can actually break the substitutes. I don't know if anything else would be able to. I think Vileplume Sludge Bomb would break it, but he may go for substitute again. I don't know. He might just try to work on it. But I'm going to go ahead and go for Scald. Here comes the Poliwrath, and I was kind of worried about Water Absorb, but that's fine. He could switch in Electivire, predicting the Thunderbolt, so I could switch into Vileplume. I'm going to go for Thunder. I'm just going to go for it. So it goes for Earthquake and knocks us out, so that sucks. Man, I don't really know what to do here. That Zatu's a huge problem for me. Because I could switch into Swellow, and he's just going to keep switching into Zatu here. I have a feeling he's going to switch. He's probably going to predict the Facade. I'm just going to go Brave Bird. Here comes the Miss Magus, and we knock it out. So I'm fine with that. That's a great move for me there. He's probably going to bring in the Electivire, but I still have Steelix. He's probably going to go for Earthquake, predicting that. I'm going to switch into Vileplume. See what he does. Goes for Volt Switch. Should have switched into Steelix. I keep forgetting he's special attack variant. Bold strategy here. He's probably just going to switch into Zatu. So I'm just going to go for Ice Punch. Okay. So I get the Giga Drain off. Going to get quite a bit of damage off on him. Ice Punch could knock us out potentially. I'm just going to go for it again. Going for the Giga Drain again. See what he does. He might just switch into Zatu. But I got to take that risk. I gotta risk it here. I really don't know what I'm going to do against that Zatu, though. So we live the Ice Punch there. It's a close call, though. So Vileplume is definitely earning its keep here. I could let it go down here and just, you know, he lived his life here. He could go for Flamethrower. He's going to be faster than me. I could simply go for Torkoal. You know what? I am going to go for Torkoal here. And I want to take a gigantic risk here. I want to go for Shell Smash. Now, I should be quicker than him now. And he forfeits. So we get the first win. Torkoal coming in huge there with that Shell Smash. Good game there, Johnny Dangerous. That was a good game. Close game, really. That Zatu really kind of zoned me out a little bit because Vileplume couldn't really do what I needed Vileplume to do because of it. So good solid team there, but we came out on top there luckily. So here comes the second match here. Another Zatu, which is so problematic for us. But he's got a couple water Pokemon. It's going to be great for Vileplume. He might start off with Water Stomp actually instead of some Stealth Rocks. Or Hariyama, for that matter. What's our best play here? I could go Steelix. I could go Regice. I'm going to go Swellow. I'm going to say screw. So here comes the Marshtomp. And chances are he's going to use Stealth Rocks. Facade or Brave Bird should knock him out. I could go for U-turn and play it safe. I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird. Screw it. Actually takes it pretty easily there. So let's see. Puts up the Stealth Rocks. I could go for Defog. I'm gonna go for the Defog here. See what he does. Goes for the Scald. I'm switching into Vileplume. Chances are he will switch. So here comes the Stealth Rocks again. I doubt he stays in. In fact, he probably switches it to an Ice Pokemon. I'm gonna go for Sleep Powder. Azatu. God dang it. Good thing I'm Grass type. Zatu. Such an annoying Pokemon. He's probably gonna go. I mean, will he go for Nightshade just like the last one did? I don't know. I'm going into Regice. Goes for Heat Wave. That's fine. I'm gonna go for Ice Beam. You know, he's probably gonna switch. I mean, I would imagine. So he U-turns. Probably into Hariyama, which is a safe bet for him. And I freeze him. Freeze hack's OP. But as you can see, I didn't do any damage to him at all. I'm trying to think about what I want to do here. I'm gonna go to Swellow. Swellow's really weak right now. And he thaws out. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Alright. Hariyama's a huge issue right now. Really don't know what to do against him without Swellow. Alright, I'm about to look at some stuff here. So he's probably Assault Vest. Probably Assault Vest. I could Toxic him with Steelix. It's probably my best play that I got at the moment, so I'm just gonna go into Steelix. I'm gonna throw a Toxic out. He might switch out to Audino. It's probably a Mega Audino that probably has Heal Bell. Okay, so he knocks off our leftovers. That's fine. I'll do the trade there for Toxic. Because he could switch into Zatu. I already have stuff. I mean, I'm just going to do it. Switches into Zatu, which I kind of figured he would. So I could go for Heavy Slam. He's going to go for Heat Wave. So I'm just going to go for Heavy Slam. Goes for Heat Wave. He has a Rocky Helmet. Okay. Goes for Roost, of course. Goes for the U-turn. I thought about going Volt Switch too, but both Thunderbolt. Oh, of course, Marshtomp. God dang it. I'm in a very difficult position here. I'm just trying to think of what I should do. I could switch into Vileplume, but he's just gonna switch back into Zatu. I might be able to safely just fight this Marshtomp. Chances are it has a. Okay, I could just maybe scald it down a little bit at a time here. Has Earthquake, of course. Just some bad plays on my part. I really just this team's really good. I just don't know what to do against it really. Losing Swellow early was tough. It was a risk that I made there, and you know, sometimes risks pay off, and most of the times, you know, they don't. That's why they're risks, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So it has Heat Wave, U-turn, and Roost. Let me see, Vileplume. I could go for Sludge Bomb. He's gonna do a lot of damage to me though. I'm gonna go for Sludge. I'm just gonna risk it. We get the poison, which is actually what I really wanted off that. Alright, so he could go for Psychic again. I think Red Jazz could live it pretty easily. Take a lot from the rocks though. Okay. So he's probably gonna roost. I could go for an Ice Beam. Goes for the Heat Wave and misses. That's huge for me, and he's gonna go down. So I got lucky there with the Heat Wave miss. So we got rid of the Xatu, which is good for me. Really good for me. I still got some other threats to worry about though. Samurai. I assume he's just gonna switch into Marsh Top. Just Hydro Pumps, that's fine. So he's Life Orbed. He's probably got Ice Beam. I don't have much of a choice though. My team's really weak right now, so I'm just gonna bring out the Vileplume and simply go for Giga Drain. Goes for the Ice Beam, and that's gonna be it for us, guys. Because really, Samurai takes out the rest of our team here. Like Steelix is really weak as it is, and Torkoal, he's not gonna do anything. So a couple of play mistakes by me. You know, sometimes you take risks and they pay off. Other times you don't. That's why it's a risk. And I'm a risky. I like to play risks really. I try not to play too safe sometimes, but just because I feel like sometimes when you take that risk, the other player just does not expect it, right? And then you can easily just put yourself on a good position. So another Xatu. A lot of people using Xatu in this format. It's a good Pokemon for this format for sure. It's annoying. He could start off with Rhydon and set up some rocks. Who should I put in though? I'm just gonna put in Steelix. So here comes Rhydon. Probably with an Eviolite, I would imagine. So let me see. Steelix. His Earthquakes can hit me a lot harder than my Earthquake would. I'm gonna go for Toxic. See what he does. Because I'm thinking he's gonna put up Stealth Rocks, which he did. Because I'm also gonna put Stealth Rocks up. But I wanted to get some damage on him while I'm put up Stealth Rocks, right? So there's my Stealth Rocks. So chances are he's going to go for Earthquake again. Now he can predict the switch and go for like a Rock Blast or something along those lines. But I'm going to switch in a Swellow. Predicting the Earthquake again. Goes for the Earthquake. So I get a safe free switch in with Swellow here. And the problem is, now what, right? I mean, I'm in a good position with him, I guess, but he can simply Rock Blast and knock us out. So I'm just gonna actually get a U-turn. Gonna get that toxic damage on him again. I'm gonna go ahead and start my timer there, and then I'm gonna switch into Vileplume. That's my plan. I'm gonna switch into Vileplume. He's probably gonna bring out the Xatu, but whatever. I'm gonna go for Giga Drain actually, because he may just stay in. I don't know. Or I could go for Moonlight. I'm actually going for Sludge Bomb. He resists it. That's fine. The reason why I went for Sludge Bomb because I thought he was going to switch into Xatu, and it does a lot more damage than Giga Drain does. That was my plan, but that's fine. It was foiled. It happens. So he knows that I have the Black Sludge. So here's Xatu as predicted. Probably going to go for Psychic. I could bring out Reggie, I think, pretty safely here. Goes for the Heat Wave. I'm going to go for Ice Beam. Can't really go for an Electric Attack here. I get the stat. I don't think he's going to stay in. He's probably going to switch out. Maybe even to Adino. But I'm going to go ahead and go for it anyways. See what he does. So Ice Beam will 100% take him out if he stays in. He does not stay. He goes for the U-turn. Maybe switches into Lantern, maybe. Maybe Haunter. I don't know. Tauros. Tauros it is. And I get the freeze off. Talk about the hacks. Got the hacks off there. Let's see. He's going to be faster than me. If he does attack me, He defrosts. He's probably going to knock me out. I'm going to risk it. Let's say there's a good risk there. There's a good chance that I'm going to survive that. So take out the Tauros. Just huge. So I got Tauros and Rhydon down there. Let's see. Who would he put in? Could put in Audino. Could put in Lantern. And see, this is why I love Reggie so much. He's got so much bulk, but he still packs such a powerful punch. So here comes the Audino. I'm actually going to go for Thunder Wave. So he goes Mega Audino, he goes for Wish. So he's obviously looking either to heal him back up or heal the Xatu off. So the only Pokemon besides, I mean, I have Vileplume and Steelix that can take Audino out. So I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. So I'm very familiar with Mega Audino because I play Mega Audino in some of the other formats. I like Mega Audino. It's a great staller. Ice Beam does about 30%, but with Wish, I can maybe get lucky with the Para. I don't think it's going to be enough to really risk it. I'm simply going to go into Steelix here. I'm going to go into Steelix. He's going to go for Calm Mind, so I made the right choice here. Goes for Wish, that's fine. I'm going to go for Heavy Slam. Chances are he's going to switch out. But I need to keep Steelix alive for this Audino. At least I think. So here comes the Heavy Slam. It's going to do 47%. Dazzling Gleam does a little bit. I get to resist a little bit of that. I'm hoping for the Para. I don't get the Para off. If he's running Protect, this is going to take a little bit longer than I wanted to. Doesn't have the Protect, so he's going to go down. He's probably going to bring out the Xatu to get the Wish off on the Xatu. That's fine, though. Getting rid of Mega Audino is huge. Actually brings in the Lantern. I might survive an attack. I'm going to go for Earthquake and risk it. So here comes a Scald. I actually don't live it. That's fine. I'm going to go into Regice. I want to go to Vileplume, but I'm not quicker than him. He's going to have Ice Beam. So all I could really do is go for Focus Blast here. Hope that I don't miss. Has hidden power, either Steel or Fighting or Fire. Probably Fire. Probably Fire. Fire for the Grass Pokemon, I would imagine. Although you don't really need that with Ice Beam, so I don't know. I know that Smogon suggests hidden power Fire. I can simply just go for a Focus Blast again. Maybe Ice Beam is my better bet. So let me see here. Ice Beam is definitely not my best bet. I know he resists it, but I didn't know if it was going to do more than a Focus Blast. Gets the burn off, so I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of damage here, but Regice will probably go down, which sucks because I need him for Xatu, so maybe not my better play. I just didn't really have, so he's going to go for Volt Switch. And he's going to bring out Haunter. I'm going to make a risk. Again, I'm a risky player here. I'm going to go for Shell Smash. See what he does. Goes for Sludge Bomb and knocks me out immediately. It was a risk, you know. I gotta keep Lantern. I gotta keep Lantern up. And I gotta keep my Vileplume up. I have to go for Brave Bird. And I take out the Haunter. So one less threat out of the way. So now we're gonna be going against Xatu and Lantern. I'm gonna get a little damage on it with the rocks here. So here comes the Lantern. I'm going to go for Facade. I am quicker, so I'm going to knock him out, so that's great. So Swellow is going to survive. Am I faster than a Xatu? And if I am, is it better for me to go for the Facade or the Brave Bird? I think Facade's going to do more damage. I could be wrong, though. It does do more damage, and I should be a lot quicker than it. So here we go. Swellow with the end bit of sweep there. Good game. So we're actually 2 for 1 right now. Swellow coming in huge there. And that's actually going to be the end of the video because it's about 30 minutes already. I told you I would do 3 at least, maybe 5, but they took a little too long. So I'm just going to end it there. 2-1, not bad. But guys, remember to go ahead and like that video, subscribe if you're new, subscribe if you're not new and you just haven't subscribed yet. I do these every Sunday, Showdown Sundays. Sometimes I do them throughout the week just for fun. They won't be Showdown Sundays, but they'll be under Showdown Battles or whatever the playlist is called. And I like playing Pokemon competitive. I like to have fun. I'm not the best in competitive by any means, but I do like to have fun. I based this team just off the fact that I wanted to build a team around Vileplume, right? And I did. And Vileplume did okay. In the practice runs, it did a lot better than it did here. But what are you gonna do, right? Just depends on matchups. But I also do Throwback Thursday every Thursday. I played an old school game last week. I played Pokemon Snap because I've been playing Pokemon Go nonstop, just like I'm sure you guys have been as well. And it's very similar to Pokemon Go. It was for the N64. So if you've never seen Pokemon Snap, or if you have and you want to relive some nostalgia, definitely check that out as well. I plan on doing more videos weekly. I'm gonna try to make a permanent schedule that I do something maybe once a day, like I have the Showdown Sundays and the Throwback Thursday. I'm just constantly adding new stuff to my channel here, so definitely check it out. I also talk about pro wrestling if you're into that as well. There's always some pro wrestling talk, and with pro wrestling, if you do watch wrestling, know that the draft is coming up this Tuesday with the brand splits. So that's going to be huge. So we'll be doing a lot of talking about that as well. So, anyways, guys, I am the Maverick Mark Daniels, and until next time, I bid you a farewell. Peace.